Welcome back to another episode of the free-to-play series, the best Dokkan free-to-play series on YouTube right now. You know how it works. We go through last week and this week, and then we look at the characters that we got. So let's just start straight away. As you can see on your screen, we are ranked 378. Last time we were actually 371, so not a big difference. However, there is some difference there. Power level, we are looking at 91,116. Last time we were at 78,560, so that is a big jump. If I can do some quick math, that's about 13, so that is crazy to see. Hidden potential nodes unlocked 16,366. Last time it was 15,000. So about 1,300. Makes sense. We rainbowed a couple units in this episode, so you'll see that as well. Link levels, max level 45. Last time it was 35, so about 10 link level 10s. I haven't really been focusing on it, but it's cool to see that the number goes up no matter what. Stages cleared 1,485. Last time it was 1,453. So we've only done a couple of stages, which makes sense. We repeated the same stages over and over, basically. And last but not least, Dokkan Awakened characters 149. Last time it was 140, so about 9 characters. It sounds about right, and we'll get into those characters soon enough. And if anyone cares, level 11 on the Chi-Chi and Goku. So let's get into the first unit of the episode. The first character we are going to be talking about is going to be the Super Saiyan Goku GT. Of course, you can find this one in your story events, your Dragon Ball stories. You want to go down to Dragon Ball GT. And then once you're in Dragon Ball GT, it is the only story event there. It's going to be Dragon Ball GT Ultimate DB Saga. So in that stage, you can actually find 2 characters, but I ended up splitting them in half, so we'll talk about this Goku first. Tech Goku, this character has been in the game for a while. However, he just got a Dokkan and an EZA, which we are going to be talking about later in this episode. So, as a unit, it is decent. It's not the best unit in the game, obviously. However, it's not the worst I've seen, especially when it has the EZA. It does get better. But as the official rating, I've decided to give it a 7 out of 10. It is not the best, however, it's not the worst. I recommend doing it if, of course, you've done everything else. You got nothing to do. It's a new unit. Why not go ahead and do it, right? So, 7 out of 10. Very, very decent unit. We could talk about this guy a little bit. He is going to be... I actually don't know what his things are. However, pretty good unit. He is actually part of Pure Saiyan's Dragon Ball Seekers, which does come in handy to Dragon Ball Seekers. Space Traveling Warriors, GT Heroes, of course. Of course, you have the Bond of Parent and Child, the new category recently. And this unit's very good, and we'll get into the passive and everything when we talk about the EZA. So, let's talk about the next character. The next character we are going to be talking about is going to be the Hyper Meta-Rilldo. Rildo? Something around there. This can also be found in the same stage as the Goku. It also is going to be found in the Dragon Ball GT Ultimate DB Saga. Same thing goes with this guy as the Goku. Unit is very old, however, it recently got a Dokkan Awaken and an EZA, so it does make it a lot better. We'll talk about the EZA, the passive, in a little bit. But I just want to say, very decent unit. Also, 7 out of 10. It's mainly because both of these units start off as an SR, and you do have to get them up to a UR and all that. Plus, we decided to rainbow both the Goku and the Hyper, which is, I don't know. We'll talk about if you need to do it, but I decided to do it for myself. You can decide if you want to, but I'll get into specifics later. Very decent unit. Honestly, this unit isn't very helpful in any case because it is part of Artificial Life Forms, which is a niche category. It is part of Terrifying Conquerors, which is pretty big, so you can put that in a good category lead. And then GT bosses. Of course, we don't have any GT bosses. This is pretty good. However, that category is not good altogether. Anyway, plus you're not really getting boosts from any of those, so it's kind of a win-lose situation because the Goku's pretty decent, of course, because it's Goku. They have to make the Goku decent. But this guy, I feel like they just didn't do pretty well on him. Plus, he's not a lot of categories. Of course, his EZA does make up for it. However, he does lower attack, so it's not the best unit. So, now that we got both of these units in the way, let's talk about their EZAs one by one. The first EZA we are going to be talking about is going to be the GT Super Saiyan Goku. So this is actually the first one I decided. As you can see on your screen, it does say Team Comp number 3. In the background, it'll also be playing it. However, We started with this one first because I've tried to do both of them without EZA in one of them, and it is like literally impossible if you do not have some good characters. So looking at the teams, looking at what we have so far on the free-to-play account, I decided to go for this Goku first, right? We have our Guro. I believe it was week 7 where we ended up EZAing him, so that's pretty good. We also have a Rainbow Goku, which is very good. I had to rainbow him because I really couldn't do anything without him being rainbowed. We do have GT Grade 8 Vegeta. Very, very decent in this stage, especially since it's an in character. We also decided to bring Hyper Meta-Rilldo as well, because again, rainbowed, brand new unit, why not? And then we decided to bring 2 in characters that we had lying around that was able to be in this EZA. We brought in the Frieza and the Trunks. As you see, the suggestion rating is a 2 out of 10. This is a very hard stage. I promise you, it is the hardest stage you're probably going to see in a while in the free-to-play account. If you do not have a summonable unit, or you don't have a really good free-to-play units from before, it is going to be pretty hard to do this. But well, let's talk about this Goku. 2 out of 10. Very, very hard to beat, but if you want to beat it, you can. That is the team I ran, and you do have footage in the background to see what I did. You really have to get the rotations in order, because if you get some bad rotations or some bad RNG, the run's over. That's why it's so low. I just don't like wasting stamina on something that's not guaranteed. So I say for now, wait on these until we get some good EZAs. I mean, until we get some good units. Some really good units that we're able to defeat this EZA. But if you already have those units, go ahead and make some team comps, put some in characters, and you should be good. But let's talk about this Goku a little more. So Goku greatly raises attack for 1 turn. Of course, it isn't part of the meta. Meta is raised defense. This is raising attack. I mean, it is pretty good nonetheless. So, and then the passive, it's a long one, so stay with me. Attack and defense plus 59%, plus an additional attack and defense 14% per key spear obtained. So that you could see about a jump to 100% if you get the right amount of key orbs. Plus an additional attack and defense 59 with 3 or more key spears obtained. High chance of performing a crit attack, a crit hit with 5 or more key spears obtained. So if you do get that 5 or more key spears, you are going to get a crit, which is pretty good. As well as an additional attack and defense plus 59 when performing a super attack for 7 turns from start of the turn. Randomly changes key orbs to certain type rainbow key orbs, pretty good, when there is a GT boss category enemy. So if you are going against a category GT boss, bring him in, he'll change the key orbs into some rainbow key. So we are getting a lot of crits, we're getting a lot of attack and defense percentile. So when I went to Rainbow Sky, I did pure additional. So it's going to be 16 additional and 11 crit. So that's how I did it, especially since he already comes with crit if you do get 5 or more key orbs. So that's just how I decided to do it. It is pretty difficult to do this event. If you get Guro to like attack first or get most of the damage done on him, and then you do have the Goku maybe do something like if he makes sure to attack before he gets hit, and then you want to float off the Frieza and the Trunks. It is really hard to do. However, if you follow the video, you like kind of understand what it's going. Don't worry, the Goku's actually the hardest one. It gets pretty easier after this, so let's talk about the next one. The next unit we are going to be talking about is going to be the Hyper Meta-Rilldo character. So as you can see, this is going to be the second stage of that GT edition of the Extreme C Arena. So when it actually comes to this one, it is a lot easier than the Goku, because once you have the Goku, I recommend just easy it straight off the bat. It's going to help with this one so much more. If you actually look at the battles that we did with this, once you already have the EZA GT Goku, you basically get in there and you hit it once or twice. Maybe you get a lucky additional, you get the crit, and you're set. You are set to go. So Giru should stay as your leader, just depending on what the team is. He's probably the best leader out there. If you want, you can put Goku as well. He does have plus 3 key, so you could do that as well. Doesn't really matter though. And then you do have the GT8 grade 8 Vegeta. You also bring in the Hyper Meta-Rilldo because you need to. And because the enemy is a strength character, decided to bring 2 AGLs from before, we are going to bring Android 17, which has a chance to dodge. You don't really have to rely on it, especially since Goku's just going to wipe them out. And then we also brought in Baby Vegeta AGL as well. Suggestion rating is still a 2, even though the Goku basically carries. However, if you don't have the Goku, there's no reason to do this one either. This one's actually harder. If you don't have either EZAs, this one's the hardest one. I tried doing this one first, it did not work out. So I recommend doing this right after the Goku. Make sure to EZA the Goku as well. But let's talk about this character a little more. So it's going to be GT bosses plus 3 ki, 77%, so pretty decent. This one does raise attack and defense per 1 turn and lowers the attack of the enemy. So you're going to want to put additional on that guy. He's going to look pretty good with additional. It's going to be 16 additional and 11 crit. Let's talk about his passive real quick. Attack and defense 80% plus an additional attack and defense 20% per GT bosses category ally on the team, up to 80%. So you can have that 80% plus the additional 80%. You're looking at 160% attack and defense just by starting out, plus another additional attack and defense plus 80. So that is a 260 when performing a super attack. Pretty good. Plus you get a plus 2 ki, an additional 40% attack when you're facing one enemy GT bosses category. When you're facing one enemy, as well as GT bosses category allies, plus 2, 40% on attack. So that is actually very good. This guy is pretty good. However, if you don't have a good GT bosses, you're kind of screwed because he's not really used for anything else. But if you have a good GT bosses, put him in there, he'll get them attack, defense. It's gonna look pretty good. So as long as you have the Goku, this one should be pretty easy. Do not attempt this one first, because I promise you it's not gonna work out. This one you shouldn't attempt first. Please attempt the Goku, it's much easier. And then once you have the Goku, this one's a piece of cake. Now let's talk about the next and final character of the episode. The final unit we are going to be talking about is going to be Kid Vegeta. Yes, probably one of my favorite ones to come out. This is obviously a strike event, a strike force unit. Obviously it's been in the game for probably the longest. It's one of the oldest units out there, but it recently got a Dokkan Awaken plus an EZA. So I saw it just came out when I seen it, so I was like, why not try it, put it in the end of the episode, it'd be kind of fun. So this unit actually is pretty decent. Obviously I like myself Vegeta, one of my favorite characters, so why not add this Kid Vegeta? I've seen it a couple times and I finally decided why not go for it. So Prince Vegeta, pretty good. Obviously you can't find him in the Prince Prodigy Prince event, in the story event, in the event section. Suggestion rating is a 7 out of 10. Because it starts as an SR, so already like comes down a couple because you have to waste a lot of medals. Zenny. But other than that, it's pretty easy. The EZA part where you have to grab the medals are actually pretty easy. As long as you have the medal cooler team from Worldwide Celebration, you should be able to sweep that event perfectly fine. So let's talk about this Kid Vegeta a little more. Kid Vegeta's leader skill is an AGL type. Kid Vegeta is a AGL type leader, 3 ki and a 77 attack and defense. So on your super attack, you're looking at raises attack for 1 turn, causes supreme damage with a high chance of stunning. So stunning is pretty good. Other than that, the raise attack is pretty decent as well. You could put a crit on him. Or you could go additional. I would go additional, especially since he can stun. I'd go additional. I did not rainbow this unit. You can if you want. I just didn't. I didn't feel like rainbowing this guy. Maybe later, just not now. And this is obviously when he has the EZA. So when I tell you this passive is for the EZA Kid Vegeta. Attack and defense 100% when performing a super attack, plus an additional attack and defense 20% for each attack performed. 200%. So yeah, if you put additional on the guy and he really additionals, you could get up to 200%. So that is crazy. Plus an additional attack 200% which each super attack performed to 200%. Now we're looking at 300% attack. Okay, yeah, definitely put this guy on additional. Plus an additional 50% defense when there is another youth category ally on the same turn. So if you run a youth category team and you put this Vegeta in there, you have 2 more youth, you're looking at 100% defense plus 100% from the beginning, and the attack, so that is very, very good. Gifted Warriors category allies attacking in the same turn will give you another 50%. So if you run this guy with a bunch of other Vegetas, you are looking pretty good. Launches additional attack that has a medium chance of becoming a super attack with 3 or more key spears obtained. So this is actually pretty good. I didn't know this unit was going to be good. Haven't even tried him out. Basically just got him for this free-to-play episode. But he's looking kind of good. So I might actually use him in a couple teams. I might move the suggestion rating. But for now, 7 out of 10. Pretty good unit. And that's going to be the end of the episode. Thank you so much for watching. If you did enjoy the episode, you know what time it is. Make sure to leave a like, subscribe, and go in the comments. Tell me how much you like it. Tell me if I need to do more units, or maybe the episodes are too long or too short. Let me know in the comments below. Feedback is greatly appreciated. And I'll catch you in the next one. Peace.